If you're here, I would love to see you, so turn off your camera. Hey, David. Laura. No, wait. Can you hear me? Yeah, without problem. Pilar. Yeah. Cool. So happy to see you here. Let's see if someone else joins, but you can also unmute yourself or just open the chat and just say hello to each other. How are you? And maybe a word where you're connecting from, just to connect to each other.
I'll go. Hi, I'm Beth. I am connecting from outside of Philadelphia.
Cool. What time is there?
It's 9 a.m.
Wow. Amazing. Amazing. I'm so glad that you made it here.
Hey folks, I'm Dave and I'm from Minneapolis, Minnesota, and that's where I'm connecting from today.
Oh my gosh, it's even earlier there.
Oh yeah, it's 8 a.m. In fact, it's such a weird morning. It was 7:30 a.m. and it was just pitch black, like midnight. And I'm like, what is going on here? As Hedvika knows, I used to live in more temperate climes for 20 years. It's like I moved back here and it's like, this is crazy. I hate this.
I see. Well, I'm really happy that you woke up for this and you're here. And Pilar?
I'm living in Germany now, so it's a good day and it's a good hour.
Yeah, and then we have Fritz here, who's doing my technical support. So he's probably not going to be on the camera. And yeah, how is everyone doing? Maybe you can just put into the chat one word, how you're feeling after 2021. Okay, in English, not in Spanish. Harto. Like being sick of 2021, tired. Pilar.
Yeah.
Happy! Wow! Nice, nice, really nice. I think I can subscribe the tired one and happy one. So, before we practice, just a few important things. If you have any technical difficulties, maybe just jump out of the Zoom and come back. If I have any technical difficulties, just let me know in the chat or something. And also, I would suggest to turn off your notifications, put yourself on an airplane mode, close a million tabs on your browser if you're like me, or close your doors so that you have privacy to practice and spend this time for yourself. So there should be more people coming, but yeah, I guess it's gonna be just us. So first I'll give you a short intro. Kristen, okay. So first I'll give you a short intro about what we're gonna do today, and then we're gonna move to the practice. So today I would love to give you just a short teaching about a Sankalpa, which is a sort of a yogic alternative to New Year's resolution. And then we're going to move into a restorative yoga. So that's going to be just 2 poses, nothing more. You're going to be lying down, no movement involved. So it's also suitable if you just woken up. And we're going to be spending about 40 minutes in the restorative practice, and then you can refresh yourself, have a little break, go to the toilet, and then we're going to come back, and I'll give you a few just kind of journaling prompts or questions to reflect on to give you some inspiration if you still haven't made your New Year's resolutions, or how you would like to show up. So I guess this poster is also tired of 2021. So yeah, so we're gonna come back to the circle and share, if you want, your feelings or your impressions or your Sankalpa for the New Year's. Obviously, if you have, it's not mandatory. If you feel like after the practice you kind of dropped into a nice place where we'd like to stay longer, then just feel free to quietly disappear from the Zoom and just take that time for yourself. If you have any questions, just feel free to interrupt me at this point, and then I'm gonna unmute you probably for the practice. Also have a pen and paper prepared for the last journaling exercise, and all the props that you gather around the house. So I hope that you found something. What do you have? Could you show me maybe? Okay, duvet, a comforter, pillow. Cool. Blankets, pillows. I think we can make it work. Great. Perfect. So as for restorative yoga, it's really not about the props. As you may have noticed, I'm also not at my place. So I'm just working with what I found here in this apartment, which is these like big red pillows are actually the back of the sofa, and some little pillows. So no fancy yoga props, which is the advantage. So at the beginning, you might need a little bit of shifting and adjusting to figure out that position. But once you get it right, it means that you can practice anywhere, even when traveling or staying at someone else's place. So you don't have to go to a yoga studio. Okay, so as for today, I was thinking that it's kind of that year when we tend to set up our New Year's resolutions, and we all know how it works with New Year's resolutions, right? Like full of enthusiasm in January, and we usually abandon them by the end of February. So today I would like to propose sort of like a yogic alternative to New Year's resolution. And it's a setting intention for next year. Intention in yogic tradition is called Sankalpa. And actually it's kind of like a sort of resolution or a positive statement that invites you to embody what you desire in the present moment as if it was already happening. And what is interesting about the root of the word, sam, that means an idea or concept that was born out of the heart. I'm going to repeat this one more time. It's an idea or concept born out of the heart. So what's interesting about it is I feel like our New Year's resolutions are usually just kind of made solely out of our intellect, which is kind of a reason why they usually set ourselves up for a failure, because we don't necessarily involve the heart into it as well. So this is my invitation for the Sankalpa. And also one of the differences from the New Year's resolution is that we are going to use the restorative yoga poses to kind of relax the body and drop one layer deeper into the unconscious mind, so that you can really find that access to what your heartfelt desire for the new year's might be, which is something that could help you to bring the change that you want to see in your life, as to be a change that is more permanent and more wholesome. And I know that it's not super easy to be relaxed during this time of the year, especially around Christmas and on the last day of the year, where there's like a lot of emphasis and pressure on how we should be feeling, like joyful and festive and celebrate. And we might be feeling all sort of emotions after this year. So I just wanted to say that whatever you're bringing here today is completely fine and welcome. And we're gonna create the conditions for ourselves to rest and reset our resources so that we feel less wrapped up in our heads and less tense in our body, and also more open and more connected to other people as well as to ourselves. So the key piece here for today's practice is going to be just being aware of what's arising and not adding anything onto your experience. So whatever emotion, sensation, thoughts you're bringing into the practice, just approach it, welcome it without adding any judgment, any comment on top of it, or trying to fix or change anything, right? And so we're just meeting ourselves with open and kind awareness, and with the sense that the way that how we meet ourselves is also how we meet others. So if you're ready, we're going to move into a practice, and we start with a short warm-up. So maybe just find your place where we would like to practice. Pilar, you can stay sitting on the couch, but I think it would be better if you just moved a little bit. Nice. And I'd like to invite you to sit cross-legged and on the ground, finding your seat. And we're gonna just start with a short cat and cow. So I'm gonna turn to the side so that you can see me, and you're gonna follow your breath. So as the breath comes to you, you open the chest, look up, lift the heart. And as you exhale, you rock on your pelvis back, you round the back and gather the belly. And we start moving slowly like this, opening up, lifting the heart. And then exhaling, gathering the belly, rounding the back. Just really tune into your own pace, connecting with your body. And as you do this, you might start to imagine that your breath is like a warm light entering your body, filling your body, and then leaving it. 3 more times. Just a gentle movement in your spine, up and down. And then we meet in the center. And start swing your arm up and side, reaching to the side. And then slowly transitioning onto the other side. Opening the joints, not really stretching anything. It's just a gentle movement. You can imagine as if you were moving through a thick water. So everything is fluid and soft. Just a few times, again, moving at the pace of your breath. And one last time. And slowly coming back to center. Now sweeping the arms up, and as you exhale, you can turn to the right. And then again, as you inhale, sweeping the arms up, and as you exhale, twisting to the left. Few times like this, just on your own breath. Turning around your central channel. Just being gentle with yourself. Here we're not really stretching. It's just about getting into touch with our body. One last time. And then coming up and release. From here, we start turning the upper body, moving in circles, just around, stirring some energy gently. If there is any area that might feel tense or still sleepy, just gently move back and forth. And then slowly arriving back to center, finding a stillness in the body again. And now you're going to place your left palm underneath your right armpit and your right palm underneath your left armpit. So your arms are crossed on your chest. And you can close your eyes or just keep your gaze soft on the ground. And start turning your attention inwards. Towards your breath. And you might start noticing the movement of the ribs expanding with each inhale. And gently relaxing with each exhale. You can start to imagine that your breath is like a warm light entering in your body, filling your body, and your palms receiving your breath. Ribs expanding, creating more space. Now you can switch the arms, so the one that was on top comes down. And just tune back into following your breath. And slowly release. Open the eyes. That was the only movement that we're going to be doing today. And from here we can move on to the mat or wherever you want to practice the restorative yoga. And I'm going to first show you the setup so that you can figure out your own setup, and maybe we can discuss what you need to do or adjust. But I encourage you to be a little bit creative with your prompts. So I'm using these blankets. If you have something like towel or a blanket that you can fold into a rectangular shape. Oh my God, I'm just so fascinated by the cats moving in the back. So I'll give you a little bit of time if you still need to grab some towels, big towels. Just get a blanket, and it could be, I mean, at the moment I'm using 3 blankets to have some sort of padding, but if you have a thicker blanket, 1 would be fine as well. And once you have this folded shape, I'm gonna stack the blankets on top of each other. Maybe just give me a sign with your hand when you're ready so that we can move forward. But so yeah, you want to have the blankets rather long and narrow rather than wide. Okay, perfect. That's absolutely perfect. Okay. So we're gonna place the blankets on top of each other, and I like, it's just a detail, but I like to put the upper blanket kind of longer than the other one so that there is like a little slide over. And this is where your body is gonna go on top of the blankets. And then you take let's say I'm using this part of the couch, but you can take also huge, large bed pillow. Or if you have maybe pillar, you can use 2 of the couch pillows that I see there. Or if you have, yeah, I mean, I can't really see your setup, but maybe you can just turn your camera. Perfect. David is already comfortable there. Great. I'm putting you back to bed. Great. So you have the bed pillow at the end of the blankets. And then you can use 1 more pillow on top of this one. So we really want this pretty high, I would say. And then other pillow. Joy. Perfect. It's gonna just being transmitted from the pillow right into your mind. And then you get another pillow that's going to get on top of the blanket. So you're creating kind of two levels here. One for the feet, which is higher, and then one for the knees. Perfect. Santa pillow. Believe in Santa. This is amazing. Okay, so Kat is going to join us. So you come on top of the blankets and you place your feet on the higher pillow, and you use the other pillow to support your knees. Yes, very good. And then you take your time to come onto forearms, and your shoulder blades will be on the floor, so the blankets and actually at the tip of your shoulder blades. So maybe you just need to wiggle a little bit to find that place where you can place your head down and feeling the blanket really end below the tip of your shoulder blades. Okay, so you can take a look at me, but now I'm gonna just come closer to the screen and maybe take a look at your setup. I can't really see everyone's, but maybe cool. Maybe you can just tell me if that feels like comfortable or not, or if we need to adjust something, because the sensation we want to go for is absolute comfort. So if you feel like there is something that doesn't feel quite right, adjust that. The head should be on the ground, resting, but if it feels like too much for or too hard for the back of your head, you can use like a very thin towel or just a neck roll. Like, is that fine with everyone? Yeah, sounds good. Great. Okay, so now let's come out of the pose. You're all so comfortable there. So let's come out of the pose. I'm gonna show you the other one, so that once we start the practice and the relaxation, you can just move more smoothly between one another and you don't have to look so much at the screen. Okay, so this would be the first pose. Do you have any questions? Or is it clear? Yeah? Okay. Let's move on to the other pose. And here, you're gonna just take that big pillow and move it onto the other side of the blankets. So you're gonna be using the back one, the big one under your head, and the other smaller two underneath your knees. So again, you're going to be sitting on top of the blankets. Your knees are bent and supported, very well supported with the smaller pillows. And then again, coming onto your elbows, maybe shifting a little bit forward and back, so that you can rest your head on top of that big pillow. Your shoulders should be not on the pillow. So let's see how that works for you. And your knees are completely relaxed and supported by the pillow. So there's no holding in the legs. You can completely relax in the front of the hips. And your hands can be either on your body or open and with extended arms and palms up.
Okay, maybe just take a moment to check in with yourself and with the position, and if there's anything that you need to shift a little bit or maybe support your head. I'm going to take a look. I can't really see any of you. Maybe just give me a sign how this feels. Yeah. Very good. Okay, perfect. Okay. So David, just a question because I can't really see you. Are your shoulders on the pillow or more or less under the pillow?
I'm following instructions.
You're such a good student. Okay, great. Perfect. Just a question. So you should feel that kind of opening in the chest without too much of a pinching in the cervical spine. So maybe if you feel like that's too much for your head, just adjust and find something smaller. But it looks great. So I would say we can start moving into the practice. So I'll bring you out of this pose and we come back to the first one. So bringing that large pillow at the end of the blankets and creating this 2 levels with the pillows. So the feet are coming on the very top, the knees coming on the smaller pillow like this. And then you come on to your forearm and make sure that the blanket ends somewhere underneath your shoulder blades and just release your head on the ground. And here you can choose if that feels good for your shoulders. You can even open the arms, bend the elbows, and just let your arms pointing behind your head, palms facing up. So you want to create kind of this nice and smooth slope for your body. This position kind of encourages the flow of the blood circulation in the body as the head is lower, or should be lower than the rest of the body, especially the legs and the feet. And you can close your eyes if you wish to, or just keep your gaze soft. And as we start to move into the meditation, just check with yourself one last time if you feel like completely at ease and comfortable, so that you don't have to hold yourself anywhere. And then just begin by sensing the support underneath your body. Right, sensing into the pillows underneath, supporting your feet and the legs. And allowing the props to hold you up. So that you can sense whatever your body is making contact with. And let your weight just drop into the ground, into that support. But just consider that underneath your body, there's the ground holding you up. And underneath the ground of your house or your building, there's the ground, the earth holding you up. So just allow your body to be held and supported. And you can be present with your awareness of the ground holding you. Imagine it's not just the ground that supports you, it's just the whole glow of the planet, the earth underneath. Let's take a long exhale here. And allow yourself to sense that support that's underneath your body, that can hold your weight. That the ground that is present for you. And then exaggerating a few breaths, you can begin to draw the attention to the breath itself. And just being on the breath, tracing it with your mind's eyes, feeling it coming through your nostrils into your body. And just tracing the breath, leaving your body, again out through the nostrils. Letting your mind settle on the breath. Centering our attention on the breath, coming in and coming out. And as we center ourselves on the breath, or bring ourselves into the present moment, paying attention to the breath as it comes in and out. And then just from purely tracing the breath, start really feeling it. So feel how the breath moves your ribs expanding on each inhale and gently relaxing with each exhale. So start to widen your attention. You're just tracing your breath, but feeling the breath. And sensing the whole air around you. So it's not just a single breath going out and in through your nostrils, but it's just the sense, the presence of the breath, the ocean of the breath around you. Moving through you. Maybe you can imagine now that the breath is a huge presence that can move in and out your heart center. So you're starting to shift your attention from your mind, tracing the breath, feeling the breath move in and out of your heart center. You can feel your chest opening, your ribs moving. And sense the ocean of the breath around you. So that you start to fill your body with your presence, your whole body. Almost as if you were breathing through your whole skin, everywhere. Again, sensing that support, that presence of the ground and the ocean of the breath around. The breath and the earth always offering us support unconditionally. Offering us presence where we can rest. So take some time to bathe in that presence and rest in stillness for another few more minutes in this pose. So you can start gently coming back to your conscious breath. And when you feel like you're ready to settle into the next pose, then you can just gently start moving your body. Whichever movement feels good for you to come out of the pose. We can meet in the center. And maybe just do a few circles with the upper body or a few cat and cows as we did at the beginning. Maybe if there's any part of your body that asks for more attention, just go into that place. And if you don't have any questions, we move on to the other pose. So take the big bed pillow and move it at the top of your blankets. So we had it underneath our feet. Now it's going to be underneath the head. If at any point you need to interrupt the practice and go and use the toilet, that's actually a very good sign that your nervous system is shifting into rest and digest mode. So it's definitely something that we want, and respect that, and feel free to just go out and do that. And then we're going to use the two pillows underneath our knees. So supporting the knees so that the knees are bent, feet are on the ground, or maybe just the heels on the ground, depending on the size of your legs. And then you slowly shift so that you can come onto your forearms and bring your head onto that large pillow. Again, your shoulders are resting more or less underneath that large pillow. Maybe you need to shift those pillows so that you can extend through your legs. You don't have to hold anywhere. Almost, this is a supported Savasana, so imagine it as much as extending through your legs, through the front of your hips. And here you can choose, I like to start with my hands on the belly, just to feeling my body. But you can also extend through the arms and let the palms face the ceiling. Also, if you have any extra blankets that you can either cover yourself for more warmth, or you can also place it on top of your, let's say, belly or front hips. Just for, you can also use any extra pillow from your sofa, just for a little bit more grounding. It's actually a very nice feeling. I also have, a eye pillow, but you can use any type of, I don't know, scarf or a sock, if it's clean, just to put it on your forehead, again, for a little bit more grounding there. So take your time to make yourself absolutely comfortable here. Again, if you have a lot of light in the room, you might also want to cover your eyes with something, just to stimulate your nervous system to shift
into your relaxation response more quickly.
The cat wants to practice as well. Very good. I like that, Pilar. This is great what you have on your forehead. Closing your eyes again. And again, you can start with your palms in the belly or on the chest. At any point you feel like you can drop them onto the ground, just go ahead and do that. And we start with a little breathing practice. And as you come to place your attention on your breath, see if you can make the exhales equally long as the inhales. So placing your attention maybe on the tip of the nostrils, just feeling the air coming in and the air coming out. Sometimes it's really useful for the mind to focus on the breath as we shift into relaxation. Especially if you feel that your mind is constantly busy, trying to jump out into commenting or analyzing. Just bring it back on the same length of the inhale as well as the exhale. And from here, again, bringing yourself onto the ground, feeling the support underneath your knees, underneath your head, and just allowing the ground to hold you. Getting into contact with your props. Knowing that underneath your props, there's the ground. Underneath the house or building that you're in, there's the ground, the earth, holding you up. And you can feel now your breath moving freely through your body. You don't have to do anything to breathe. Just let it happen on its own. Your breath comes to you naturally. Allow it to fill you. Again, maybe noticing the ribs rising with each inhale and gently relaxing with each exhale. And in this supported Savasana, we do a gentle scan of our body, part by part. And you can just think of it as a little hello, bringing our kind attention to all the parts of our body. And you can imagine your attention as a warm light, giving yourself that bit of warmth to each body part so that you can feel seen, met. And maybe just invite the body part to soften or relax a little bit. So we began at the top of the head, just sensing your scalp, allowing your warm attention to notice the scalp. See if there's any softening possible there. Just shining a warm light attention down to your brows and the point in between your eyebrows. A little softening there. Allowing the eyes to sit back in the eye sockets. Letting your jaw relax. The whole jaw being met with warm light of your attention, where the jaw meets the ears, and inside the tongue, the roof of the tongue softens. And softening your awareness from the jaw through your mouth down towards your throat and sliding down towards the collarbones, allowing your warm light of attention to find some ease in the neck. Let your throat relax and fill the neck. Also inside your shoulders, just a little hello, little softening there. Down the arms, all the way into the hands. You can imagine your hands receiving that warm light of attention. Imagine your palms Receiving that little hello. And then sliding your attention back towards the chest, noticing the presence of the breath in your chest. Presence of the earth holding you up. And start sliding that attention down towards your belly, allowing the belly to soften. Just welcoming the belly as it is. There's nothing to be fixed, nothing to change, so you can relax through the belly. Letting your breath travel all the way down into the belly, down into your pelvic region. And just fill your pelvis with that warm light of attention. All the way into your seat. Feeling the earth underneath, holding you up. And then just sliding that warm light of attention down through your legs, through your kneecaps, all the way down into your feet. And just imagining the feet receiving that warm light of attention. Feeling your whole body resting on the ground. Filling the body with your presence, the same way as water would fill a cup. And from feeling your body, start to expand your awareness to feel the presence of the breath, the ocean of the breath around you, as well as the presence of the ground underneath you. And then you can imagine yourself for a moment, just see yourself maybe across in front of you, maybe just sitting cross-legged. And notice what you look like when you're rested, relaxed, and at peace. Just gaze at yourself in your mind's eye. gently begin to notice how you feel. Noticing your connection to the ground, to the breath, to the air around you. Sensing yourself just as you are. And from here you can imagine sitting there with another person. Another person whom you'd like to bring your full attention to. So just imagine another person noticing your own presence and the space between you and the person. Noticing that space, that presence that holds both of you. And just notice what it means to bring a full presence to something or someone. And just sit with that image for another minute or so. Resting in stillness. Slowly coming back to your breath. Removing the props, just wiggling your toes and fingers, reawakening the body. And slowly coming back to sitting, turning onto one side and using your hands to help yourself come up. This is the moment for a bio break if you need to use a toilet or refresh yourself, have a tea. And if you would like to continue, I'm going to share a few questions, as I said, kind of like a journaling prompts to continue that reflection that we started in lying in Savasana. And maybe you had some insight or something that came to your mind that you would like to write down. And if not, I can read the questions for you. These are questions that could help you to create a Sankalpa, an intention of what would you like to achieve for next year. Sankalpa, as I said, is sort of like a positive statement, a one sentence in the present moment. So it's created in the present tense. It's not like a New Year resolution, I will do something in the future, but it's really using that present tense, maybe something like I'm at peace, as if it was already true. So as with anything in yoga, we already know that we don't have to obtain something or get rid of something to be enough, but we are already whole and complete. So we just need to connect to those qualities that are present in ourselves. So here are the questions that you might want to answer. So what project or relationship or person would you like to nourish with your presence and energy next year? Who will you become in that process? How will that change you? What it would feel like to give your energy to this project or this particular person. And kind of to put this or your Sankalpa into a bigger picture. So it's just not only our desire, but how that impacts your or other people's life. If you have any questions, just feel free to ask. Otherwise, I'll give you 5 or 10 minutes, depending on how much you need to journal and spend some time reflecting on these questions. whenever you feel ready, just give me a sign so that I know more or less. Yeah, so thank you everyone so much for sharing and for being here. I really, really appreciate that you came, and I can imagine that, yeah, today is a busy day. Everyone is at party. So yeah, thank you again, and just let's close the practice with kind of one last mindful moment. Maybe just bring your hands on your chest at your heart center, maybe closing the eyes for one last moment, and I hope that this practice serves you and that you can come back to the feeling that you had when you were lying down as often as you need to. And may you stay centered and open, and give your presence to yourself as well as other people. Give that gift of presence to yourself and other people. And I think that we're ready for 2022. So thank you so much. And yeah, hope to see you soon or connect with you. Thanks for coming. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.